say my size.
Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
All right. What is up, everyone? We are here for a special Friday afternoon episode of Jawing and Balling with our special guest. Of course, we got Freddie. We got the CEO of All Sports All Plays Network joining us today, which is a little bit of a treat. Freddie, how are you today, good sir?
Tony, glad I can come on. I'm glad, you and I'm pretty sure Mon will, have much respect for me coming on here today. So I want to say thank you two. The third member, I'm not too sure he'll be too happy to see me because every time me and him get on the show, I have to educate him. But I'm glad to be on John and Ball, and I believe it's my first time on here.
It
Just
is.
ready to go.
Awesome. And of course we do have Joe with us. Joe is actually not only working hard, but he's being a supportive dad. His girl is selling Girl Scout cookies right now. And Joe's like, in the meantime, I'm a support from the sidelines because they ain't gonna buy cookies from me if I'm with her. So I'm gonna let her do her thing. Joe, how are you, man?
I'm doing wonderful. Listen, as glorious as the beard is, it doesn't work well with a bunch of little girls. So I just push myself to the side. I'd rather talk football with you fine fellows and Freddie and get right down to it.
And then, of course, we got the man with the long, luscious locks. We got Amon with us. Amon has been busy today. He had the ASAP in the morning show. Then you had
ASAP recap.
ASAP recap just a little bit ago. So he has been a busy man today with podcasting. Are you good, Amon? Like, do you and the hair need a break? Like, do you need to brush it out?
No, I'm loving it. Last day of spring break, and what other way you want to spend it but being here on ASAP Network?
Right. So obviously, as pretty much everybody knows, the big news broke that DeShaun Watson has been traded to the Cleveland Browns for a massive $230 million contract. What was it? 80 million more than what he had previously, and more than 150 million of it is guaranteed, which was the previous largest. No?
All of it is guaranteed.
All of it is guaranteed.
The previous largest guarantee was Aaron Rodgers with $150 million. DeShaun Watson gets 5 full years, 5 full cousins of guaranteed years at $230 million total. Amon,
Now,
you get that joke.
Now I'm waiting because I'm waiting for Aaron Rodgers to come back to Green Bay and be like, so
Joe's on my tweet.
I heard this DeShaun kid is getting more money than I am. I'm the best quarterback. I need y'all to pay me $300 million, and I want all of it guaranteed. No changing. Can't change it.
Aaron Rodgers is going to go full Dr. Evil $100 billion.
Exactly. And Green Bay's probably like, okay, here you go, Aaron. But Freddie, since you're our guest, I'll start with you, sir. How do you feel about this whole Deshaun Watson trade? Does this really make Cleveland now contenders, or at least contenders in the AFC North? Because apparently the AFC North and the AFC West said, "Here, let us put on our black Air Force Ones and get ready to just start stomping people." What do you think about this?
Man, oh man, oh man. First of all, I'm just going to say I've never seen NFL free agency be this crazy in a long time. I believe we've entered into a new era of football of, hey, let's stack these teams up and let's see who meet up at the end of the year. I believe we're in that type of era, just like how the NBA was a few years ago. But man, oh man, oh man, when I got the notification yesterday that the Cleveland Browns was out of it, my mind, hey, and it was leading more to the Falcons that they was getting ready to go down there to Atlanta. I said, okay, I can see Atlanta on a rebuild with Deshaun Watson. I like it. I like it. You got their kids pitched. They finally need a quarterback to throw the ball to. Um, but when I'm in the barber chair getting my hair cut, and I see Deshaun Watson has changed his mind, I'm like, change his mind where? Where? And then it said the Cleveland Browns, and I said, man, that's actually a great pickup. That's a great pickup in my mindset is because you already have Amari Cooper. Yes, you let Hooper go, release him, to save some money, which is a valuable tight end, by the way. Went to the Tennessee Titans. You still have Kareem Hunt. Still have Nick Chubb, and they still have that. I forgot the other tight end name. I can't,
Njoku.
can't pronounce. Yeah, there you go. I just can't pronounce his name. So this team still have weapons on the offensive end. You still have that defense. So hey, man, and Deshaun Watson. Last time we saw him, we had Patrick Mahomes here, and we had Deshaun Watson here. So the dude have talent. We've seen him with the all-time great receiver and DeAndre Hopkins. He finally, he comes back. Amari Cooper's no Hopkins. I'm not saying that one bit one at all, but he's still a decent wide receiver, and I believe that they can still pick up a receiver, maybe through free agency. Jarvis Landry, I bet you wish you didn't leave. You left a bit too fast, too quick. But hey, I love the move. Honestly, I believe this put the Browns back into one of the favorites in that division. To make the division, hey, bro. Honestly, man, if y'all think about it, every game in the AFC next year is a must-win game. Like these teams are stacked. Like, ooh, boy, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, and I'll say when I saw this, I kind of couldn't believe it. I was like, he changed his mind in less than 12 hours. He's like, yeah, Cleveland, you're in the running. And I looked into why he said no to the Panthers. So apparently the Panthers decided that they weren't going to guarantee the money past 2023. So basically the end of next season, they could have said, hey, maybe you're not it, maybe you're not the guy, maybe we haven't put enough around you, and then Deshaun's basically out on the streets, and he would get picked up very, very easily. But that's part of why he eliminated the Panthers out. Joe, I'll move on to you. Do you think this is a smart move by Cleveland to pick him up? Because like Freddie said, Jarvis left. If I remember right, I believe they lost J.C. Treader, their center. I believe they let him go.
They
So
cut him.
your offensive line maybe will take a little bit of a step back, but I mean he definitely has pieces there that he can work with. Do you think he can succeed in Cleveland, and do you think he's really going to be the franchise guy that gets Cleveland over the hump into at least consistency as a franchise?
The two most surprising things I saw today was Freddie admitting that he pays to get that haircut. I can't believe that he's actually forking his money over for that. And the second thing is that Deshaun Watson did a complete 180. Amon and I talked about this on the actual Jawing and Balling on Wednesday night, where we talked about Aaron Rodgers and his new deal about respect, where somewhere in the dictionary, apparently next to respect is supposed to be dollar signs. Cleveland looked at this and said, we do not have the best situation, because they don't have Alvin Kamara. They don't have Michael Thomas. I do like Cleveland's roster, but this came down to they needed to overpay Deshaun Watson. They give up 3 first-round picks. That's an overpay. They needed $230 million guaranteed. That's an overpay. But what if I told you that they're only giving up 1 pick this year? That they have 5 picks in the first 113 picks of the draft, which is the second most in the league. Like, this is not a team that is bottoming out to go get Deshaun Watson in hopes that they can build around him. They're already built. Now, I'm leaving the off-the-field stuff aside. On the field, the last time we saw him, he was a borderline top 3, guaranteed top 7 quarterback in the league. Can he be that in Cleveland? I mean, probably, because guess what? When Matt Stafford went to the Rams, players want to play with him. When Tom Brady went to the Patriots, players want to play with him. I mean, we've already got AB tweeting out that he wants to go to Cleveland. That's a whole other situation. But, I mean, can he be the guy that leads them? Yeah. because we've seen what he can do with a mediocre team. And right now, at this exact moment, on paper, Cleveland is on par with those teams in the AFC West. I mean, Freddie said it. Every game in the AFC is a, basically winner goes on, loser moves on, because it's so tight. And here's the other thing. We've seen what happens in the AFC North when you have a quarterback that you can build with. Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, he wins an MVP. Granted, injuries, stuff like that, they go to the playoffs. Ben Roethlisberger, Pittsburgh for a long time. Joe Burrow gets the right pieces around him. They go to the Super Bowl. Cleveland looks around and says, we've done everything we can. We have a defensive player of the year candidate, Myles Garrett. We've got one of the best 3 running backs in football, and we can't go anywhere. So it's not our fault. It's his fault. And we know who that is. And they solved it today by trading for DeShaun Watson.
Yeah.
Can you say his name for the men in the back can't hear you, please, Joe? Because I want them to know who you're talking about.
That would be Baker Reagan Mayfield.
Yeah,
Okay,
who
good. I just had to make sure.
Who it is funny that, and I almost feel bad for Baker because I feel like Baker already kind of knew this was probably going to happen, and he's like, "I want to be traded," and then Cleveland's like, "No, we're not going to trade you." And now he's probably knocking on Cleveland's door, and be like, "So, about that trade," and they're probably changing their mind.
How long, Amon? How long after the trade request did they shoot it down?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. 7 minutes.
So Amon, he could have gone back to the Falcons, like Freddie said. Kyle Pitts could finally have a quarterback other than Matt Ryan thrown to him. Which I'll be honest, I feel like that's kind of a jab at Matt Ryan. Like I don't feel like he's bad. It's just the Falcons are a mess and they're cursed because of Arthur Blank. To be honest with you,
No, they're cursed. No, you know why they're cursed, Tony? They're cursed because what they let happen in the Super Bowl against Brady. That's
true.
why they cursed.
If they'd have just ran the ball, they'd have been a lot better off, right? So Amon, the Falcons surprisingly are out, which I thought he was going to go to the Falcons. It was like, he's from Gainesville, Georgia. It's an hour away. Like you're back in the deep heart of the South. You're back kind of where your roots could be at. I know the Panthers were potentially there. It's like you're a Clemson alumni. You were a star at Clemson, brought a national title there. The Saints, I didn't see the Saints. I feel like Alvin Kamara's issues, he's probably going to be suspended for a hot minute, so he's going to be out. And then Michael Thomas is a whole question mark within himself. And of course, they already have their own cap issues that they have to deal with. So yeah, do you think that Cleveland now is really the team to beat from the AFC North? Do you think that they're going to be able, with DeShaun, be able to take advantage of maybe Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals probably not investing as much in that offensive line as they could?
Well, I think the Bengals did do a pretty decent job on the offensive line, getting Alex Kappa, getting Ted Karras. And I think they're going to be right up there with Cincinnati. I think the crazy part for Cleveland is they can still flip Baker Mayfield and go get themselves a receiver. They could say, hey, Baker, you want to go play with Indy? Great. But you're going to give us Michael Pittman to be our number 2, number 3 receiver. And again, I think at number 3, I don't mind if he's not getting the double team. They could go to Seattle. Hey, you want a quarterback? Give us Tyler Lockett and we'll give you Baker Mayfield. They can go to these different teams and flip Baker Mayfield for a player. And that was the thing. Like, they didn't have to give a single player, so they can go and flip these things around. They still have all the picks this year to add on to flip things around. I think they're going to continue to add on to DeShaun Watson. I think there was a report, and Pride was telling me about this on ASAP Recap, where basically they were saying, we are not done. We are not done putting pieces around you. We'll give you this, and we still have cap room to get pieces around you. Jarvis Landry might say, hey, Cleveland, I'll come back now that Baker's not in town. There's still guys who are going to come and want to play with DeShaun Watson. So when you talk about competing with Cincinnati, yeah, they're going to compete with Cincinnati. Now, did Cincinnati get better? Absolutely, and you still have to go and beat them. But I like Cleveland's defense a little bit more than I like Cincinnati's at the moment. And DeShaun Watson is going to play at the same level Joe Burrow is. So it's going to come down to which defense can make a stop. And if gun to my head, I had to make a decision, I think I'd pick Cleveland. And that's a scary thing for the rest of the AFC.
So I'm gonna throw something out there crazy, and I think Freddie's probably gonna want to throat punch me when I say this. Since DeShaun Watson is going to be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns now, what do you think the possibility of not only Jarvis Landry coming back to Cleveland, but Odell Beckham Jr. coming back? Because Now he has a quarterback that'll throw to him. Maybe Odell says, you know what? No, Cleveland, you made a mistake. Now I'm going to come back. I'm going to make y'all love me again. And now I actually have a quarterback that will throw to
OBJ loves Hollywood. He loves LA. He loves the palm trees. He loves Rodeo Drive. He loves SoFi Stadium. He loves Matthew Stafford. He ain't trying to go back to no Cleveland. Ain't nothing in Cleveland for him. Please.
Freddie, did you add an R in Rodeo Drive? Did you say Rodeo Drive? Did I catch that right?
I think you have bad connection in your truck today, Joe.
I don't think so.
I'm so far from North Carolina. I thought you were talking about Rodeo Drive, North Carolina. I'm so I didn't click in my head, Los Angeles. I'm so much in North Carolina. That's like why I was so mind-boggled by Rodeo Drive.
Hey, if it's any help, I had a dude in the military one time. He said, "Yeah, I'm from Dallas." And I'm like, "No, you're not. You're from North Carolina." He's like, "Yeah, I'm from Dallas, North Carolina." It's like, "Oh my god,
that's not.
Like, that's not. Get out of here."
Listen, Amon, you said it right. Tony, what you said. I mean, maybe we just saw Fletcher Cox go back to Philly after being cut because of cap purposes. Like you said, maybe Jarvis turns around and says, "No, I can go work with this." Maybe OBJ, who will not be expected. The only thing I worry about in that instance, you have a bunch of number 2 receivers and no pure number 1, because I don't think Cooper's a pure number 1. I don't think Jarvis is a pure number 1. And at this point, I don't think Odell is a pure number 1. So you have a bunch of number 2s. Now, we've seen DeShaun thrive with mediocre receivers, but these are also number 2s who want a lot of balls thrown their way.
Yeah, and I agree. But I feel like, and really, I'm going to kind of compare it to, and obviously it's a little different with Tom Brady. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have a number 1. If you do have solid number 2s, you can make number 2s work. And to be honest with you, look at what he was still able to do, like you said, basically with a bunch of number 2s when they traded DeAndre Hopkins basically for half a broken peanut and an empty Lay's paper bag. Like, he was still, basically a top 3 quarterback in the league just with that. So, I mean, me being kind of a sarcastic person, even if he only has Amari Cooper for home games, if you can at least get Jarvis Landry for away games, and then Odell Beckham Jr. can have a half and half year, I mean, he's still got a solid core. And don't forget, they still have David Njoku, which is big because, quarterbacks love their tight ends. And he's got probably the first thing he's had his entire career. He has running backs that can run the ball. Oh, he also has an offensive line that won't let him get sacked like 60 times a game. So, and as well as he does have a defense that can actually compete with and compete for him now, as compared to before with Houston. They didn't have terrible defenses, but it's definitely regressed a lot, and especially with the loss of J.J. Watt as well.
Yeah, I mean, we also see, like, teams that make the Super Bowl, teams that have these one-year jumps like Cincinnati did, they usually come down the next year. Cleveland has nowhere to go but up. They were injured last year. They were disappointing last year. And now you make this trade. Like, if it doesn't work in year 1, everybody just says, "Hey, DeShaun was off a year. Give him a chance. He's going to be fine." And if they do great, then they look and they say, "Look, this is why we traded for the guy." For Cleveland, it's a win-win situation. They didn't pay the big money to Baker, which everybody said they shouldn't pay. They got arguably one of the 3 to 5 most talented quarterbacks in the NFL on their roster. They gave up 3 first-round draft picks on a roster that has a nice blend of youth and experience. Like, to me, again, we haven't talked about the elephant in the room, which is obviously the civil case is still waiting. But on the football field, this is the biggest move of the offseason. Like, clearly, this is bigger than Rodgers going back to Green Bay. This is bigger than Adams getting traded or Von Miller. No matter what the move was, Russell Wilson to Denver. Russell Wilson to Denver is like the 4th most important move in the AFC. Like, I mean, it's nuts.
And Freddie, I'm gonna pose this question to you. Like Joe said, we still don't know what's going to happen with the lawsuits, as well as, so even hypothetically, if nothing happens, more than likely Roger Goodell's still going to come down with the suspension hammer, and he's probably going to get suspended for some number of games. We don't know what, but even though the charges may or may not be dropped, he's still going to probably suspend him just because he brought negative limelight to the league. Do you think the Browns still refuse to trade Baker? Because think about it. If DeShaun is out for, say, the first 6 games, hey, Baker, you're only going to be our starter until Deshaun is able to come back. Then we'll trade you before the trade deadline. Now you can go be somebody else's problem, and we won't deal with you. Do you think that's a possibility? Because otherwise, they're going to have to basically turn to whoever their backup court.
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum. Yeah, they're going to have to turn to Case Keenum for 6 games, which could maybe you start out 3-3, maybe on a good day. But Freddie, what do you think? Do you think Baker stays, or do you think he gets traded?
He'll probably get traded. I mean, hey, Cleveland can't keep on a Baker Mayfield. You can't have that attention, that guy, because we know when you have Baker Mayfield, the type of attention that he brings, that he seeks, he's not like a Matt Ryan where like he don't mind being your bench player, where he won't give you any backlash about it. Baker Mayfield is a guy to have a big one of the biggest egos in the room. Yeah, I mean, so you can't have him coming out be a backup quarterback. He's in the mindset where he thinks that he should start week in, week out, no matter what team it is. So yeah, and I believe Joe brought this up. I definitely can see them trading him, or flipping him for a receiver, or going to scout Kate Metcalf or Tyler Lockett, or a guy like that, to bring in another weapon. I believe Cleveland, see what, however many games Watson missed, will depend on our run game, depend on our defense, and we'll live with the results. And when he get back, he should go, which it should only be 3 games. The reason why I say that is because Deshaun Watson not Deshaun Watson, Big Ben Roethlisberger, same situation. When the cases got dropped, the numbers of those games did drop. So Roger Goodell, let's make sure we're consistent with that, sir. All I'm saying.
I mean,
That was actually that was Amon that brought up that point, Freddie. Thank you for the crowd, but that was Amon that said about trading for a receiver.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
And I will say too, I'm 99% sure that was also a different commissioner when Big Ben went through that. I don't think that was Goodell, was it? Because
It was Goodell.
Oh, it was Goodell. But I will say too, in light of recent years, we've seen him just drop ridiculous suspensions. Like, look at Ezekiel Elliott. All the charges were dropped. 6 games. You're done. There was somebody else that got, I mean, heck, look at Brady. Brady got 4 games just for that. And then ended up, tearing the league up as a result. So, I mean, I could easily, huh?
Atlanta paid the price. Said, I'm gonna sit out the first 4 games of the year, and then the first 3 quarters of the Super Bowl, and then I'll win. That's what he said.
Yeah, Brady's like, hold on, let me here. Oh, you're gonna give me 4 weeks off? Sweet. Hold on, let me get all stretched out. Let me eat my avocado.
Let me get pliable.
Yep. And he was like, oh, the Super Bowl. Oh, you want us to play it? Okay, hold on, hold my beer. Okay, now we'll play.
Tony, can I ask you a question? You asked Freddie that should they keep Mayfield? Does your ex-wife live with you?
Oh no, thank goodness, no.
Okay, so there's your answer. No, Baker Mayfield is not the quarterback in Cleveland anymore, so he is not going to be on the roster through this weekend. I mean, it's just not going to happen. You can't do it. It's Indy seems like the most plausible place. They're in discussions right now. Nothing has been settled. But if you're Indy, I mean, aren't you terrified? Like, you just got rid of Carson Wentz, who is bigger, athletic, and more to the style of what quarterback you want. Now you're going to get a guy who's going to cost more money, who doesn't play as strong. Now, granted, usually healthier this last year, notwithstanding. But, I mean, what are you giving up for him? Like, Cleveland took him number 1 overall. Indy doesn't have a number 1 pick this year. So what do they give up? A second and a first next year? Like, that's for the number 1 overall pick. This is a horrible, horrible, horrible thing that Indy is thinking about doing.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I also disagree with you a little bit, because really, if you look at prior to him getting hurt this year, he didn't exactly have terrible numbers. And I mean, you look at the year that they actually went into the playoffs. So 2020, he had a almost 63% completion, threw for almost 3,600 yards. He had 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. So, I mean, that's with a 2-headed running back monster, somebody he can rely on. That's with solid receivers. This year when he got hurt and he forced himself to play, he threw for 3,000 yards, almost 61%, 17 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. And that's with him basically, I think, forcing himself back in when he wasn't really ready. And I mean, yeah, compared to, like you said, compared to Carson, Carson's bigger. Yes, Carson is a little bit more athletic, and Carson at least had the numbers. But I think Carson is also one of those, he's more hesitant because of his injury, whereas I think Baker is still a little bit more of that gutsy, kind of that Brett Favre gunslinger, like, I'm just going to go for it, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, fair points. The problem is when you have a mentality like Brett Favre and a body like Baker's, it doesn't really go together. Josh Allen can think he's Brett Favre because he can throw it through a brick wall. Baker Mayfield can't do it because he can't run through a brick wall, let alone throw one through a brick wall. So it is a little like, it's cool to be a gunslinger when you got a cannon for an arm, not a pea shooter.
Yeah. But I will say too, I think this is probably up until really this year when he got hurt, I feel like this is now going to be probably one of the more supportive environments that Baker would have. Because, I mean, think about it. Before, Cleveland was like, hey, this guy is it. He's our savior. He had a great rookie year. He had a great year the following year, and then a great year, prior to last year. He led him to the playoffs, etc. So I think this would probably be the best situation for him to go to be young. And I will say, as also a Colts fan, I hope that they're able to get some type of a franchise quarterback instead of just quarterback roulette for whatever quarterback is available at whatever point. That just happens to be on the free agent market. Sam put up here, my resident Colts fan friend brought forth an interesting scenario for them pursuing Mayfield. Talk to Landry about signing with them, and that Mayfield will be pursued if Jarvis signs. If Landry says no, don't go after Mayfield. Speaks of his leadership if JL doesn't want to play with him. I don't know if it's
maybe,
but I think really it's kind of the same thing for Landry. Landry was hurt this year, and he was like, "Hey, I'm still gonna play because we're still in contention." Like even when they were gone and hurt, they still, they were still contending to play. All right, so we'll move on from the whole DeShaun thing because we'll obviously wait as more news breaks as far as if Baker Mayfield is going to stay or go. The thing I didn't get to talk about with you guys on Wednesday night because I had a job interview back home and was driving back listening to it is that Devontae Adams got traded to the Las Vegas Raiders and they paid him a significant amount of money. And they did. And Aaron Rodgers knew this prior to his big old signing of, I didn't know that all Aaron needed to finally win an NFC championship game was just more money. Like, I didn't know that's all you needed.
Respect. It's respect, Tony.
Respect. That's right. Nobody respects Aaron Rodgers. Nobody respects.
Respect is littered with dead presidents.
So Freddie, I'll have you go first since this is kind of like I'm going to say your former man crush of Aaron Rodgers. What do you think this does to Aaron Rodgers now that he lost his only weapon and the guy he loves to force it to more than anything? Do you think this hurts Aaron? And do you think Green Bay finally drafts a wide receiver in the first round for the first time in literally 20 years? They haven't drafted a wide receiver in the first round since 2002. So, Freddie, what do you think?
First, I want to talk about the Derek Carr and Devontae Adams reunited, and it feels so good. Oh man, I just been wanting to get that out. But like, listen, man, Aaron Rodgers can't be mad at the Green Bay Packers. He can't be mad at Devontae Adams. He can't be mad at nobody but himself. I mean, you cry and you cry. I need some help. I need another receiver. Please draft me this. Please get this. I want to have input on what you do in free agency. I'm not coming back. What do you say? I'm was the immunized, and then I mean all this crap, bro. Like, and then you come back this off season, sign a contract 50 million per year. You should know that that's going to take up most all the cap space where you can't get nobody else. You didn't look out for your brother, by the way. I mean, if winning was more important, your success come from Devontae Adams. I don't care. Nobody say. Joe, you can look like that all you want to. I don't care. Like all the most of his receptions go to Devontae Adams. It goes to Devontae Adams. But instead of you making sure your brother's coming back, what did you do? You took the money. Shows me it's all about the money to you, Aaron Rodgers. It's all about you. People have always said you was a selfish individual, and it proves you right there. Just you should no matter what, you need to know should have won, my brother.
Okay. I
Ray,
have
understand that?
yeah, listen.
Ray,
I,
I understand that.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they offered him more
yes.
money than the Raiders, which they did.
All right.
But
I
That's
was called out.
cute and all, but Aaron Rodgers should have been in on the phone, should have on the should have been booed, should everything to beg that man not to leave. He should have cried, David. I mean, let's be honest.
but Freddie, I mean, in Devontae's for Devontae's sake, because Green Bay doesn't get well. I'm not even gonna say Green Bay doesn't go out of their way to get him another receiver. They're not gonna pay big money. They're not drafting one in the first round. That doesn't necessarily mean Aaron only has to be like basically the only person that I can throw the ball to is Devontae, or I can do a dink and dunk to Aaron Jones. Like he has other receivers he could try to build a rapport with and make it work. We seen it. Like he beat the Cardinals without Devontae. So it's like he doesn't really have an excuse as to why. And I feel like if I'm Devontae, yeah, I'm kind of tired of just getting, double teamed and triple teamed, and you get salty whenever it's like, Devontae, why didn't you catch the ball? I threw it where you could get it, man. Like, no, screw that. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit that damn much.
I was called out by name, so I'm gonna have to go support my daughter here soon. But like Freddie's hairline, I'm gonna have to split real quick. But before I do, listen, it's real simple. I'm not critical of Devontae Adams here. I'm not even critical of Aaron Rodgers because, like Tony said, Aaron knew that this was going to happen. This is a Green Bay Packers problem. They're not taking care of the people at the right time. The reason they had to give Aaron Rodgers $150 million is because they didn't give him a contract extension last year that he was deserving of, that they tried to lowball Devontae Adams last year. This is what happens when you don't have an owner, when you don't have one singular person in the organization, not named Mark Murphy, who can look at it and say, listen, we are going to take care of our guys, or this is our plan. What's the plan of the Packers? Easy. We don't pay big money in free agency. Okay, we don't do that. We don't want to give big money extensions to our players. Okay, we don't want to do that. Like, what are you? Like, you're a poverty franchise masquerading as an all-time franchise. Like, you're the Green Bay Packers. You're literally called Title Town, and you can't figure this out. You just had a 29-year-old wide receiver who you could argue is the best receiver in the league from a skill standpoint and a stat standpoint walk out the door because you offered him more money, and he was like, you know what? I'm good. Like, how pathetic is that?
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Amon, how do you feel about all this? Because I feel like you're one of our neutral heads about how we feel about Aaron Rodgers.
I think that this is a creation of the Green Bay Packers' own making. I think when they kept coddling Aaron Rodgers' demand, oh, well, I want this. Okay, we'll give it to you. Oh, I want this. We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. And then when Devontae Adams just said, hey, look, I'd like to get my money, when he said that to him last year, and they said, no, we're just going to franchise tag you. I think that hurt Devontae Adams. And then I think, he was like, okay, y'all going to do this to me, but you're willing to bend over backwards for this guy? This isn't going to work. I think he's seen around the league other quarterbacks. And I think he's looking at other great quarterbacks. Who's Aaron Rodgers most compared to? People try to compare him to Tom Brady. Tom Brady will take endless pay cuts to make sure his guys are paid. He tries to get his guys paid. And he's saying, so that guy is helping his guys get paid. But my guy, he doesn't care. He could, I think he's thinking, Aaron could have gone to him last year and said, make sure Devontae gets an extension and then I'll sign. Or then I'll be here long term. Because there was this whole controversy last year. But he's saying, he didn't do that for me. So why am I going to stick here for him? I think he also understands the Packers have no future game plan. They're just going to pay Aaron Rodgers until Aaron Rodgers says, you know what, peace out, I'm done being here on a football field. So he said, I'll go somewhere where at least I know there's some type of plan. At least I go play with a guy who likes playing with me or at least appreciates me. I think the Packers just coddled Aaron Rodgers so much. Devontae Adams, he's deserving of that money. He keeps seeing what Aaron Rodgers is getting, what they're doing to Aaron Rodgers. They said, I'm going to do the same thing. And then as soon as he turned down $23 million, I said, I don't care what they offer. He is not coming back. They could have given him $50 million. He was not going to sign back with Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, that's why I did this. Reunited and it feels so good.
Yeah,
Brian did that on the
think
morning
I
show
think
too.
And I honestly think that it started from last year, like Amon said, because if y'all remember when he was trying to get the negotiations done with Green Bay, people were even asking him, well, hey, if you don't, where would you want to go? Well, I'd love to go play for the Raiders because if I remember right, he's from California. He's from near the Oakland area. They went to Fresno State together. He and Carr went to college. He's like, hey, I would love to play with Derek. If he comes to the Packers, cool. I'll play with Derek. If not, I'll go to the Raiders. Like that's who I want to play with. I want to play with my college quarterback again. And I feel like for Devontae, it's probably one of the best times to do it. Now, I will say Devontae's going to have a little bit of a reality check because now you go from probably one of the worst divisions in football other than the NFC East to, now one of the best divisions in football in the AFC West because we've seen the Broncos reload everything with, Russell Wilson and their defense. We've seen the Chargers like, hey, we got to get better on defense. We're getting Khalil Mack. We got J.C. Jackson from the Patriots, which was huge. And he's going to be going up against Devontae. And then, of course, you still have the Chiefs that are going to be in contention. Now, I think the Chiefs are going to take a little bit of a step back because obviously we saw Honey Badger sign with the Bucks because I think Honey Badger wants to go get another ring more than anything.
Oh, he did sign the Bucks?
Did he officially
sign with the Bucks?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The Buccaneers, I feel like, are going to really, really be pushing hard to go all in.
But the Chiefs did get a safety though.
Justin Reed from Houston.
Yeah, but I mean,
they also lost Tre'Davious Ward, their best corner,
which isn't a bad. He's not a bad safety.
No, he's not Honey Badger, but he's not bad.
And then they got Juju.
They did get Juju. Well,
and they don't need more offense, man. They need to find a way to stop Justin Herbert and company.
I've always thought Tyreek needed some help, though.
I mean, well, I'll say this. I would say Kansas City kind of reminds me of Green Bay with their offense. Like Tyreek is obviously the main guy. Same with Devontae. The difference though is Tyreek has Travis Kelce, who is more of a wide receiver than he is tight end. Like you don't really see Travis Kelce throwing that many blocks. And just like Green Bay, they're able to use their 2 and 3 wide receiver, Mecole Hardman and Robinson. I can't remember what Robinson's first name is.
Allen Robinson.
Hey, Tony. I know Robinson.
Yeah, Allen Robinson.
DeMarcus Robinson. Sorry, DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah. They're able to use.
I know a better Robinson.
Oh yeah, Allen Robinson.
My man Freddie's been a Rams fan all 2 days. They said he's feeling himself.
So Freddie, I gotta ask. So the Rams are kind of pulling the same thing as the Chiefs. Like y'all ain't really worried about the defense no more. You were just like, we'll get an offensive shootout. You for sure got Cooper Kupp. You got Robert Woods. Van Jefferson, I feel like now is like the 5th wide receiver. You got Allen Robinson. And and I'll be honest, I haven't really paid attention, nor have I seen a whole lot of news on whether or not OBJ is going to come back to LA. That's the assumption is he's going to want to come back there, but I haven't seen anything official that he wants to be there.
Listen, Tony, we still have the Aaron Donald, Big Donald Daddy. He's still there. I don't care they talking about him retiring. He ain't retiring. He's still coming back. We still got Jalen Ramsey down there holding his side down. Going to be guarded against the best receiver of the opposing team. We still have Leonard Floyd. I mean, hey, Robert Wood will not be around this year.
Where's he going to go?
There's already been talks about them, people very interested in Robert Woods since they picked up Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is just a a safe call. 'Cause I do believe they're gonna pick up OBJ. OBJ won't be ready to sometime around the playoffs. Well, they needed some other guy to back up Cooper Cup. So I can see them trading Robert Wood for maybe a pass rusher, which I believe they need, or another CB, which they need, or a safety, which can help them. So if they can trade him and maybe get one of the three, hey, Rams, we going back to back number two, LA style. Woo, woo, LA style.
Now, Freddie, I'm gonna bring up 2 points that says the Rams are not gonna be back to back. The first one, as much as I don't like him, is by the name of a man called the name Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., number 12 down in Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay said, "Hold
What
my
happened
beer."
to him this year?
Huh?
Did we play him this year? Didn't we play him this year
Yeah.
in the playoffs? What
You
happened?
you really think Tom Brady gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'll just flop again"? You really think that? You really think that's
He
gonna happen?
flopped.
He gonna
It had
remember. Don't
nothing
worry.
to do with
He'll
my
throw 3 more
defense.
on Jalen Ramsey's head. Don't worry. He'll throw 3 more. He'll on Jalen Ramsey's
Like-
career this time.
Like you gotta think. You guys reloaded. Tampa Bay reloaded with the same guys. They got Chris Godwin back. They have Mike Evans. They got Russell Gage. Scotty Miller's going to come back healthy. We're still out on whether or not Gronk is going to come back or not. More likely, playoff Lenny going to come back. They can
Logan
still
Ryan signed.
Gronk coming
Logan
back.
Ryan signed. They got Honey back.
Did y'all see the video with Gronk? He talking about, I'm coming
That was
back.
so
I'm
good.
just-
The
I'm
barbershop.
just gonna make him wait because he made me wait some months.
Yep.
But listen, man, I'm gonna tell you this, Tony. They can do all that. Okay, is Evans better than Cooper Cup
Yes.
right now?
Yes.
Mm,
That's
I don't know
tight.
about that.
That's tight. I go either way on that one.
Is Godwin better than Allen?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
Mm.
Yes.
Look, here's why I say Mike Evans is better than Cup. Cup is consistent, but so is Evans, and Cup is efficient in the fact that he is a good route runner and he can burn you with speed. Mike Evans can just go up and get you the ball. Like Mike
Let me
Evans.
ask you a question: Who have better chemistry, Brady and Evans, or Stafford and Cup?
Yeah.
Stafford and Cup. I'd go Stafford Cup. That no look pass in the Super Bowl sold me on that one. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You look him off.
Hey, and when you need to stop on the defensive end, Tony, ask your question. And when you need to stop on the defensive end, are you trusting Tampa's defense or are you trusting the Rams' defense?
Oh, Tampa's.
Tampa
got better depth.
What?
Tampa has better depth,
Please
dude.
get out of here.
They got
Tony.
deeper
Get out of
pieces.
here, man.
Like yes,
Freddie, I
y'all-
don't know why you keep saying we, because as Damian said, I thought you were a Giants fan. I thought you were
I'm
up
not
in
a
New
Giants
York.
fan. I'm a Rams fan. I was
Oh,
born in the
okay,
city of California, city of Angels. I don't even know who the Giants are. We talking about baseball?
Anyway, no, like yes, the Rams have Leonard Floyd and Aaron Donald, but you look at all the pieces that the Bucks have. They could still bring back Ndamukong Suh, who is still a great interior lineman. You still have Vita Vea on the interior line. You could still get JPP back. You could still get Shaquille Barrett back. You have Devin.
Shaquille Barrett's signed.
You have
already there.
You have Devin White. You have Devin White back. Levante David, and you have all of their secondary. Like
Carlton,
with a
Antoine
Honey Badger
Winfield,
added,
Honey Badger, and Logan Ryan.
like defensively, just not even just starters, but even if their starters get hurt depth wise, I trust the Bucks secondary and the Bucks defense more than I
I'm
trust.
not seeing this Honey Badger to the.
I didn't
I'm really
not
not
either. But
I mean,
the Rams lost their number 2 corner too, right? Didn't who was the corner, Freddie? They went to Jacksonville.
He wasn't really nothing. I mean, we know we need another CB. That was our weakness last year. That really was another.
Yeah, let me see, because I'm like 99% sure. I thought somewhere it said that he was going.
I keep seeing people pop it up somewhere, but I've never seen an actual report that Tyrann Mathieu is officially signed. Because I'd be so stoked. I know the Patriots aren't winning nothing, but I want Tom Brady with number 8 and then retire after year 23.
So
I'll be so good with that.
What if the Rams get involved and get the Honey Badger?
That would be crazy. Replace Eric Weddle with Honey
What
Badger.
if Stephon Gilmore?
Gilmore signed with the Raiders.
Yeah, did he sign with the Raiders?
He's signing. I think they came to an agreement.
Yeah, so I mean,
y'all see. Hey, what about Bobby Wagner? We get Bobby Wagner.
I don't think the Rams are in contention for him. I think the 49ers, I think Dallas, I think they said the Raiders
Dallas.
maybe. What do you mean
He ain't going to
Dallas?
Dallas.
I mean, he's
going to
not,
Dallas.
but Dan Quinn is there, and he liked playing with Dan Quinn. So yeah, Dallas is on the table.
But we seen what Jerry Jones have done in Dallas this all season. I know you don't want to talk about it because you live feelings of hurt.
I don't care to
You
talk
stuck
about
with You stuck with Van Der Esch, my brother.
I did not stick with Van Der Esch. I wanted Van Der Esch gone. I did not stick with Van Der Esch. Jerry stuck with Van Der Esch.
Yeah, y'all better hope old Michael Parsons step up to be that guy y'all want him to be.
He will. Honestly, I don't even care if they re-sign Van Der Esch. I just want him to be a backup because I feel we have some of the best young linebackers in Micah Parsons and Jabril Cox, because Jabril Cox was solid his last year at LSU and actually helped beat your former team, aka the New York Giants, and actually put Danny Dimes hurt because of Jabril Cox.
Who are this Giants you talking about? I've never heard of them.
The New York Football Giants, sir. The team you used to be a fan of. Wait, hey Freddie. Hey Freddie, who did Eli Manning play for?
Who?
Who did Eli? Okay,
bro.
Okay. You act like you just going to disregard one of your favorite players in NFL history. You going to disregard?
Bro, I swear, the first time I talked to Freddie and he saw the Patriots stuff on my wall, he said, "Hey, man, who stole you 2 Super Bowls from you?" It was Eli Manning. I swear to God, Freddie. I swear to God, you said that straight into me, bro.
Hey, Freddie, who's Peyton Manning's little brother?
You talking about Archie?
Archie. Yeah, who's Archie's older brother? That's not Peyton.
I don't recall.
Okay. You want to disregard one man out of a whole franchise? Like, I get if you don't want to mention the franchise. You're going to disregard one man.
I have a feeling every show I get on this all season, I'm gonna hear this.
But anyway, my second point to the Rams not winning the Super Bowl back to back, I'm gonna say 3 letters: AFC. That whole entire conference, because now you've got the Chiefs, you have the Broncos, you have the Chargers, you have the Raiders, you have the Bills, you potentially have the Patriots, you have now the Browns.
Are any of the Bengals better than the Rams?
Huh?
The Bengals, are any of those teams better than the Rams, though?
Your LA Brethrens might be, man. That by the end of this whole thing, the Chargers could be the best team in SoFi. And that's not a stretch.
Because you have Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack as your pass rushers. You have Derwin James in the backfield. You have Casey Hayward, and you have Antoine Winfield Jr. back there.
No, Antoine Winfield's in Tampa. Antoine Winfield's in Tampa. They have Asante Samuel Jr. They have Asante Samuel.
That's right. Yeah,
and J.C. Jackson.
Yeah, and J.C. Jackson. You have Keenan Allen on the offense. You have Mike Williams on the offense. You have Austin Eckler. You have Justin Herbert. I mean,
the line's good.
You got their O-line is fantastic. So I mean,
just saying, it's a lot closer than you might want to admit, Freddie. I'm just saying they're in a gap. There ain't no gap here. And
we'll say hypothetically, okay, we'll take the Chargers out. Not even the best team in the LA. All right, now you have the Broncos, who have Russell Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, but guess what?
Williams out of North Carolina.
Guess what, brother? Guess what, brother? You're forgetting to realize they got a chemistry. We just own to our chemistry. You don't think the Rams are going to add pieces during the season like last year? Let somebody get released. Guess who's gonna be calling? Sean McVay. We know that he's not afraid. They're not afraid to spend money. They're not afraid. They're not afraid to big up pieces. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised they say, Antonio, hey Brown, you want to come back? You want to play football again?
Freddie,
I wouldn't be surprised if we got him.
You want Antonio Brown on the Los Angeles Rams?
No, I didn't say I wanted us. I wouldn't be surprised.
Why would Sean McVay do that?
We've seen him take chances many of times.
On what? You got okay. Hypothetically, they re-sign OBJ. You have OBJ. You have Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Van Jefferson. You have 5 solid wide receivers. Why do you need a sixth? Why do you need a sixth? For what? Here, hey, John.
This seems like Tony's just trying to say something for Dallas, man. We need a receiver.
No, not even that. I don't even care. Like, I don't. God forbid, I do not want Antonio Brown in Dallas. I don't want any of them in Dallas. I'm just like, I'm confused. Like, what are you getting a sixth starting wide receiver for? Like, for John Walford to be like, hey guys, let's pull out the second starting team. Antonio Brown can be my number one.
Jerry Jones, sign in AB. Pick him up now.
Bro, I will stop being a Cowboys fan if that happens.
That sticker coming off the fridge.
You just stop now. Look what y'all done. Y'all haven't done anything to get better this offseason. Like, I'm trying to see, where did the Cowboys get better? Where?
They haven't.
Oh, you lost Randy Gregory. Oh, he's a pass rusher. You needed him. Oh, you lost Cooper for a bag of chips. Oh, you need. We seen what Dak look like before him. Oh, I mean, just like, where?
Okay.
You better hope CD can hold on to that ball.
Bro, I swear, when Freddie became a Rams fan, he just had so much more confidence saying this stuff because no one can say nothing back because they won the Super Bowl.
Well, he couldn't really do that much with the Giants because I remember last year he was like, Giants are winning the East. We got Kenny Galladay. We got Evan Ingram. We got Sterling Shepard. We got Darius Slayton. I'm like, Freddie, they're not going to win the NFC East. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Huh?
Who are those guys again?
Oh my God.
This bit, bro. This is gonna be the whole bit for all of 2022. It's just Freddie. Who?
like watch, the Rams could play the Giants at some point and be like, so the Rams had a bye week this week. Freddie, the Rams had a freaking bye week.
Hey, there's only 31 teams in the NFL, by the way.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's like a Marvel, like the press release for a Marvel movie.
There's two teams in New York. You got the Jets and you got the Bills.
And the Bills.
That's it.
The NFC East just has 3 teams instead of 4.
Yes, 3, yes.
So they have to. So done with you, Freddie.
Hey, that means the 2007 New England Patriots went perfect. So I'll take it.
Yeah, 2007 and the 2011 Patriots also won.
You have 9 Super Bowls. Go get 10.
Right? Yeah. Now Tom, like Bill Russell, I'm coming for them. 11 rings. All right, gents. Well, I think that's pretty much everything I got that I want to talk about. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, that's pretty much it on my side.
All right, gents. Well, this has been great. This has been fun. Freddie, again, thank you for hopping on. It was a pleasure having you, even though you apparently have onset dementia about one of our NFL teams currently. Amon, of course, thank you. You've been busy all day. Appreciate you being able to hop on. Yeah, it has been another episode of John and Bond here on the All Sports All Plays Network. Please follow us. Check us out. Check out our website. We got merch. Hell, Freddie even has T-shirts now, finally. You need to be hooking some other people up with some T-shirts. I'm just saying. But big things are happening. We're expecting big things. We're always growing. We're always moving. So please follow us on this journey. It is a blast. I promise you, if you've been here with us from the beginning, we are a complete 180 from where we started, and we're only getting better. We're only getting bigger, much like Freddie's ego about the Los Angeles Rams. But we are getting there. But y'all have a good night, though, and we will catch y'all in another episode of John and Balling this coming Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all